next-gen connectivity. Move up to advanced safety. Move up to something a little more, well, Cadillac. In XT5, XT4, and the Escalade. Current eligible non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2019 XT4 from around $369 per month. Visit your tri-state dealer for special offers on Cadillacs driven by the pros.
I say it a lot, but I like the vibe that we had in the locker room in terms of everybody focusing on what they need to do differently and the overall energy, bump that we need to have, and then go steal game 2.
Welcome back to The Jump. Hey, look, we're here at Scotiabank Arena. We're on Scotiabank Arena. This is very exciting for us. I am Rachel Nichols. The Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady is on the other side of the table. And look who has joined us. You're repping everything. Jeff Van Gundy, Cal hat, Houston
Texas
sweatshirt, and then USA basketball pants.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you got to sell.
And Liberty Speedos.
I was going to sell. Is your underwear sponsored? Is there something we should know?
Well, the only thing that's common among everything is I get paid by no one.
Okay, good. I want to make sure that. There you go. So you were Tracy's coach for 3 years.
That's right.
And you were starting to tell us during the break, but didn't get to it, so America's going to now get to hear it too. The one time what, Trace?
Yeah, the one time he coached me for 3 years, and it was only one time that he was extremely just angry at me.
Like ready to rip his face off. So we're up 3 at home against Sacramento. They take a timeout. There's about 3 seconds left. We have practiced all year. We're always going to take the foul. So Weber catches it with his back to the basket. McGrady's got him. He doesn't foul him. Then Bibby comes off. He goes we're switching. We're a non-switch team. So he jumps to a guy who doesn't have the ball. Weber turns, hits a 3, ties it up, and we lose in overtime. And the next day we fly to Miami. We're going to play in Miami. And I told him before our meeting, just take it. I can barely even look at you right now. Just take it in there.
Man. He let me have it in front of everybody.
And then there were many curse words. And
well, not really, because that's not my style, as Mac would know.
Never.
I'm playing it straight down. Yeah, a very even keel, Rachel. Yeah, very even keel.
Yeah.
They're even. They're just all words we can't say on TV.
Exactly.
And you're still upset now. We started talking about it during the break.
He brought it up, and it got me fired up once again.
Right, exactly. So
you know how bad it is, Rachel, is when I had to talk the other assistants from not killing him. Tom Thibodeau, Steve Clifford, Andy Greer.
There you go.
See, I got him riled up for the show.
That's good. I like that. High energy. Look, you guys heard Steph Curry just now talking about, hey, he still feels good, right? He feels okay. What do you think is the biggest thing the Warriors need to adjust to be okay in Game 2?
Well, I think they're limited offensively with the weapons that they have right now and because of their health. So I think what they have to do is they've got to guard. You can't give up 118 points. You're going to have to lock in defensively and then also take care of the ball. If you defend a little bit better, handle the ball a little bit better, you should be able to keep them in that 100 to 105 range, which makes it a winnable game if you get a great game from Curry and Thompson.
Is there an adjustment you'd make?
Absolutely. Again, I stated this earlier in the show that Alfonso McKinney has to get more minutes.
That's yours.
If Iguodala is going to be, limping around,
Nice straight D.
Oh, he's laboring his leg. That's just what it is. You need a third guy to help Clay and Steph relieve some of the pressure off them. He has been that guy defensively and offensively. You go back to the Houston series, the threes that he was hitting. You need McKinney to come in because I think he can knock down those shots and he could give you extra possessions on the offensive end, which he showed in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, that's what I think. I love his offensive rebounding. And yesterday they hurt Toronto with second shots that led to threes. So a big factor in the game. And I think Cousins, if Iguodala is severely limited, I think Cousins has to be able to give them quality minutes, 18 to 24, because I think they're going to need the punch. And I thought his pick-and-roll defense was better than people want to give it credit for. They always want to nitpick his defense. I thought he did some good things.
It's tough, though, with Boogie. We're going to talk about a little bit later in the show just how and when to use him and how much he can be used and all of that stuff.
Brutally hard decision for Steve Kerr.
Right.
To try to integrate him back in the midst of a finals. I mean, that is a tough coaching decision.
I want to get to the other side of the ball, too, though, because, look, welcome to the NBA Finals. Pascal Siakam, right, stole the show, 32 points, shooting 82% from the field. What do you think, though? Can he continue that? Is this a blip or a trend? Is this something this kid can lay out? He's 25 years old.
the above the break threes, I don't think will continue on. But if he gets layups in transition, he's going to keep making those.
Right.
And he went at Draymond Green a couple times as Green tried to influence him left, and he finished with his left, and he took that challenge on. So I think they've got to do a better job individually. But most importantly, they got to take away his transition layups. You can't give guys who need confidence to bolster their jump shot confidence, layups.
And that's what I saw last night. I was watching the game. Before he scored a point, he was kind of hesitant about taking that outside shot. Once he got that easy basket, it's like the weight of the world lifted off this kid's shoulders. And you got to create some doubt. You know, you got to create some doubt. You got to apply pressure on him. Have him start out 0 for 5, right? So he don't feel comfortable taking those outside shots, because he was real comfortable last night.
And that is, of course, what we heard Steve Kerr yelling at his team, and that transition defense. Come on, guys, that sort of thing. I mean, look, I will say Draymond seems to have a problem when longer guys like that go at him. He's so crafty, though. What adjustment do you think Draymond's going to make, Pascal?
Well, I think it's going to be twofold. They got up and they really pressured Draymond Green when he had the ball. And a couple times he took them off the dribble. I think he's got to be not just a ball mover, but if they're going to pressure the ball hard, he's got to go by them and create plays for himself or others. And then defensively, I wouldn't get on Siakam's side and try to influence him left or right. Green is such a good defender. Stay square in front of him, move your feet, and make him finish over the top.
You know what I didn't see? You know what I didn't see from Golden State? You know the play that they always get where they come off a pick and roll. Draymond is in the middle of defense, and the pressure is on the back of that defense, and they throw that lob. I don't think they got that one time last night, did they?
And I think that comes back to their ability with Toronto, because they're so big. They switched that pick and roll in Green instead of putting 2 on Curry. Pocket pass, 4 on 3. Now they made them, because of their versatility, the ability to switch, take that away, and then make Curry go one-on-one.
I mean, it's funny. Steve Kerr keeps saying the team I would most compare the Raptors to is us. We've been so busy looking at Houston as the team built to beat Golden State. The truth is that Masai Ujiri built this team a lot like Golden State in being long, switchable bodies that can go around everything and play defense that way. Houston, on the other hand, has not fared quite as well, especially of late. Mike D'Antoni reportedly ending contract talks with the Rockets. D'Antoni told reporters both sides could not come to terms on an extension, but he does plan to complete the final season of his current deal. Jeff, you always have a lot to say about coaching contracts. Do you think Mike's days in Houston are numbered as a sign of this?
I don't. I think what's going to end up happening is, you know what happens? You lose, there's frustration, and frustration divides. And so I think as the summer goes on, I think cooler heads will prevail. I think they'll come back around to negotiations. And ultimately, I think they'll hammer out an agreement that's fair to Mike, because one thing, you are what your record says you are. That's what Bill Parcells said long ago. And Mike's record in Houston has been absolutely stellar. They haven't been able to slay Golden State yet. They have some things they have to do roster-wise to make that a better chance. But they have something good going. And it's hard to win at this level that you see there that Mike's done. They got to keep going, and they've got to secure Mike's future.
Should I let you give your opinion in front of your old coach? Tracy's going to point out to you that he has a stellar record during the regular season.
No, well, I think he's done a fabulous job. I mean, if you look at the last 2 years of what he was able to accomplish, and he's just run into a juggernaut. Now, we don't know what's going to happen to Kevin Durant. They beat everybody else. They just can't get past Golden State. However, this year, they should have been past Golden State. Kevin Durant goes out Game 5. You're in Golden State. You have to win that game. But you come back Game 6 in Houston, there's no Kevin Durant in the lineup, and you lose that game. It's coaching, and you got to hold your best player accountable. You watch some of these plays where Chris Paul has the ball, he's bringing it up, James Harden is just floating. He's disinterested in the offense. If he doesn't have the ball, he's not engaged. And that is on coaching to get up. You would never allow me to do that. You would never allow me to have Rayford or somebody have the ball and I'm just floating on the offensive end and not say anything to me.
Well, the one thing I would say to that, you need voluntary cooperation from your best players. I didn't have to coax you into trying to do that. You did that because you knew that's what gave us the best chance to win. So whatever Mike thinks is best, they have to, all players, your best players, they have to champion that. So if Mike says, let's just say he comes to the conclusion in the summer that they need to move more and they need to get the ball side to side, and he wants to play less isolation, James Harden should be all in.
He's not.
If he says we need to isolate more in the summer, then Chris Paul's got to be in. Those three people, Mike D'Antoni, James Harden, and Chris Paul, have to be aligned in totality, because it's hard enough to win in this league, even if you are aligned. But if you're not aligned on the major things, it makes it very challenging. And you know that.
But it doesn't seem like they are, right? I don't think that James Harden and Chris Paul had some big fight in Game 6, but there have been multiple people who said they heard them having a back and forth about which direction, which style of play they should play.
Listen,
there's obviously people over here on this side of the table who don't think the style of
I'm
play.
going to tell you what that back and forth is James has to, with CP, he wants James to have more movement. He knows ISO ball is not going to beat a team like Golden State. You're just not going to win a championship that way, and it's been proven. CP wants more movement out of the player and the ball in order for them to be successful. That is just going to be the friction, because, I mean, James Harden's averaging 36 points. Individually, he's spectacular in his offense, but to win a championship, he's going to have to buy in and do some more movement on the offensive end.
As the world turns in Houston, now, so I think you're right. I think it will continue to develop. I just don't know which direction through the summer, but we will obviously keep an eye on it. We got a little breaking news as well, speaking of coaches. The NBA has fined the LA Clippers $50,000 for violating anti-tampering rules. The fine comes after Doc Rivers made comments on Kawhi Leonard back on Tuesday when he was on SportsCenter. He compared Kawhi to Michael Jordan. Do you think that was tampering, Tracy?
I don't care. I mean, I don't blame him. I will, whatever I got to say to put that in Kawhi's mind that we want this kid, I'm going to say it. $50,000 to a $40 billion owner.
Right, to Steve Ballmer.
The thing I would say then is don't allow him on the shows. Don't allow him on SportsCenter. Don't allow him here. Because if you're asked a question, why shouldn't you give an honest answer?
Right.
And if you actually think that Kawhi Leonard is going to be influenced by some Michael Jordan quote, I think we're a bit naive. But the thing is so what are we asking our coaches to do? Lie?
Look, yeah, I make these cases all the time. First of all, it is insulting players' intelligence. It really is to say, oh, wow, Doc Rivers compared him to Michael Jordan. Kawhi's going to pick up and move his entire life because of that. Oh, Paul George had no idea that the Lakers had some extra salary space. He had no way of knowing that until Magic winked on TV, because he's just so foolish. There's no way he would know on his own. It's insulting to these players to think that they can be so easily manipulated. And frankly, there's so much tampering that happens in this league in so many other ways. You think all these guys magically agree to deals at midnight on July 1st to be criticized?
You're so right.
Because he's answering a question. I don't like these tampering rules at all.
First of all, you shouldn't have a rule that you can't enforce. So you have a tampering rule, but there's no way to enforce it. Tampering is rampant all year long, and there's nothing the NBA can do about it. So it's the illusion of discipline right here. So if Doc Rivers, he could say it to Kawhi's uncle on the phone. He could say, I think he's, now, do I think Doc is Pinocchio? Does he actually think he's Jordan? No. But, I don't believe also that he should be fined for giving. They ask him on these shows. He's promoting basketball. Let him speak.
And by the way, having Doc Rivers talk about basketball is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Doc is an ambassador of the game. I think we have so many former players who are now involved in the league and in current teams, which is a good thing. And then we're telling them they can't talk about basketball. Right? You have Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is a great resource. He's someone I'd like to hear talk about today's players. He's not allowed to. Magic Johnson, obviously, that was something he found very chafing working for the Lakers. We had Larry Bird working with the Pacers for a long time and couldn't talk about other guys. I'd like to hear those guys talk about this. One of the best things about the NBA is that the greats of the game are still around the game. I want to hear them talking to and about the players in the game.
It's always a problem when we're speaking our mind.
I don't... In one way or another, you are completely right. All right, we got to take a quick time out, but coming up, we will have a special edition. I don't even know if Jeff knows this is happening.
Oh, gosh.
Jeff Van Gundy, what were you thinking?
On,
that is going to be on the jump next. You don't want to miss it.
Louisiana does not do boring. Neither does Popeyes.
Hey guys, where's mine? It's over here, and it's delicious.
Now you can get a whole quarter pound of wild-caught popcorn shrimp for just $2.49.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
We're the Slowskis.
We like drip coffee, layovers,
and waiting on hold.
What we don't like is relying on fancy technology for help.
Snail mail. We were invited to a Y2K party.
Didn't that happen like 20 years ago?
Oh, look, Carolyn, we got a mathematician on our hands.
Check it out. Now you can schedule a callback or reschedule an appointment even on nights and weekends. Today's Xfinity service. Simple, easy, awesome.
I'd rather not.
At Aaron's, we believe good people are all around us. Like those who see a need and step up, or those who give everything no matter what. So why are there stores that make it so hard for some good people to get what they need? At Aaron's, we are different. We make it easy. Your credit isn't the best? That's fine. Need more time to pay? Let's work it out. Lease to own top brands. Delivery's free. Because good people always deserve better. Aaron's. Easy, beautiful, affordable.
You, get him. I got GIANNIS. You sure? I switched to Metro, so I'm covered coast to coast. I seen all your games. I know all your moves.
Smart.
Maybe I should grab someone else.
That's also smart.
Make the smart move to Metro. Switch the family to a network that covers 99% of people and save $1,200 a year versus the big guys. Only at Metro.
The all-new Men in Black virtual reality game is now at Dave & Buster's.
Let's do this.
Out of this world action and alien adventures around the globe. Men in Black Galactic Getaway only at Dave & Buster's.
It's gonna be fun. We'll have fun with it.
Men in Black International coming this summer.
It's a journey planned for all year long. At a place where legends live.
Stakes have never been higher. Who's ready to crown a champion?
The diving grab.
This one is deep. It's gone.
You can't script it any better than this.
It's all over. They win the championship.
The Women's College World Series. The Men's College World Series on ESPN, home of champions.
Beast in me is caged by frail and fragile bars. Can somebody see, what this world has done to me? And I know.
Tonight on SportsCenter at 6 Eastern, Stephen A. Smith's take on if KD's return is now a necessity for the Warriors to win the finals. Plus, why Jameis Winston is facing a make-or-break season with the Bucks. And the story behind the St. Louis Blues victory anthem, Gloria. SportsCenter with Sage Steele coming up after PTI.
This has totally united the country. How everybody from Vancouver all the way to Newfoundland are paying attention to this. So that's what makes the Raptors such a unique team.
Hello! Welcome to the 2019 NBA Finals, a series filled with history.
Toronto Raptors are Canada's team, and the fans have been waiting a long time for this moment.
Of course, we are all ready. Can't you see that? We are all ready.
The Raptors have arrived on the NBA Finals scene after 24 seasons in the league.
And there's great pride in their basketball in this country.
Draymond denied. None other than Spicy P.
Siakam has done it all tonight for Toronto. Rebound, tipped up and in. Pascal Siakam with a 32-point game in his first appearance in the NBA Finals.
The Toronto Raptors take game one.
Let's go. Good effort. 1, 2, 3, grabs.
man, everything looks good in slow motion like that. I want to live my life in front of the Phantom Cam. We're going to have Game 2 of the NBA Finals on ABC and the ESPN app. Raptors, of course, up 1-0. Coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern. Check it. All right, welcome back to The Jump. I am thrilled to say, along with Tracy McGrady, we have his former coach, our own analyst, Mr. Jeff Van Gundy. And I thought in honor of you being here, you should play one of our favorite games here at The Jump, which is What Were You Thinking? The JVG edition. So, Jeff.
This is a setup, I can already tell.
We want to know, what were you thinking? What was running through your mind the first time you got to coach against your big brother, Stan?
I was in Houston, and they were 0-6 coming into the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was Dwayne Wade's rookie year, and we pummeled them. And so I felt a little bit bad, but not that bad. Not that bad.
See, I think the younger brother never feels bad. It's like the Serena Williams thing. She never feels that bad, whereas Venus always said she felt bad beating up on her youngest.
Yeah, I think it's a deep psychosis from getting beat up as a younger.
Child.
Yeah, I do. I think so.
As a child. Are your kids like that?
No.
No. There you go. All right, you do work our sideline from time to time. I wanted to get your thoughts about what were you thinking when Coach Greg Popovich hugged you during an interview?
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
All right, I'll take a little listen here.
Seriously, I've never been so nervous in my life, so I asked all the sideline reporters
right now.
No, all the sideline reporters what to do, how to approach you. They said explore your feelings at the end of the third quarter. So are you? Oh, I'm glad you're so happy. Thank you.
You did ask him to explore his feelings.
I was just so happy they were up 20 going into the fourth, right? Can you imagine if I was trying to do an interview with him down 7? Like Mac played for him. I don't think that would have gone over well. I think I would have had my head down and just given a one-word question because he would have given a one-word response.
Answer. Yeah. How do you think he did?
I think he did well. I'm just glad to see, the happiness on his face.
On which guy? Either one.
Jeff. I've never seen it.
See, now we're back to the cursing story.
No.
And the refusal to foul. There you go. All right. We've buttered you up enough, right? We've said some 2 nice ones.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. You know what we're getting to, right?
Yeah, I have to.
What were you thinking, Jeff Van Gundy, when you tried to stop Zoe and LJ from fighting 21 years ago?
So here it is, and you're watching it, and first of all, Miami was such a dirty team, and we were so nice and like
totally.
we competed with honor. But anyway, so when criminals plead temporary insanity, that was me. I have no thought or no remembrance. But if you would have seen Oakley, and I saw him last night, he was out there, right? Like he was just smirking at me, like, what is this dude doing? I mean, he's going to get killed.
Right.
And thankfully, I had guys like him looking out for me so I could act tough, but actually not have to fight Morney. Can you imagine if they said, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
Listen, playing for him for 3 years, I understand.
In what way?
He's just a fireball, a firecracker. Like, he's tough as hell, tough as nails.
So what do you guys as players who are all particularly large humans
Let me tell you something.
think when us not large humans...
Listen, when this man walks in the room or in the practice, he has grown men, afraid to laugh at his jokes and just be themselves. I've seen it. They walk around on eggshells.
No.
Listen,
people love, I was a huggable type of guy.
Apparently, Greg Popovich hugged you.
He means business.
All right, our last what were you thinking, Jeff? What were you thinking when Tracy had perhaps one of the most memorable moments of his Hall of Fame career, drops 13 in 33 seconds?
Give him the halftime speech. Give him the halftime speech.
I'm not sure what I said.
Not the halftime speech, but the post-game.
I'm gonna hold off on that. But first of all, this isn't against. We had played such a horrible game,
right,
up until this point, and the shots you're seeing, they look like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that. This is against Bruce Bowen, Tim Duncan, the elite of the elite.
He's got 4 guys between him and the basket.
It was a joke. That spurt showed his incredible ability. And you know what? His shot making wasn't even his best thing. Like I was saying to him on the plane ride in, LeBron James, Rick Barry, and Mac, they all have something in common. They all going to score at this high level, like big time score. not even close to their best trait. It was their passing ability. He is one of the elite passers to have ever played. And so you see those scoring things. I could have put together a tape on the passes. Incredible.
Kyle Lowry did give Mac his props for that just on Wednesday. I wanted to know, though, his post-game speech after you delivered. You delivered 13 points in 33 seconds.
This was like one of the most, one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history. And he completely just shot it down in post-game.
Come on.
Like,
we played so awful.
I'm telling you, he shot it down.
That was what he walked in and said?
He shot it down. Don't get all high off of one guy's heroics effort. And he was just going off.
It was like a one-man wrecking crew. We had played so awful. Like, they say you got to, honor the process. Well, the process sucked that game.
Okay, but can you just be happy?
Listen,
Isn't that hard to be happy
in front of the team?
Right.
He just killed us. He didn't give no high fives. It was none of that. But I'm sure in the coaching office, to his other assistants,
man, we stole that one. no, listen. Ewing used to always keep me in line because, he would always say, hey, don't get so worried about how it happened. Just, we got a W. And so he was always my, guy who would, keep me in line in that way.
Well, we hope that only now he's older and wiser and not anyone, actually. I want to get to our second distant replay today because it is a guy that both of you know well. Ben Wallace, 2006, from this date. Take a look.
O'Neal deep in the post, lots of contact there. Oh,
whoa!
Strong. That's strong.
Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Chris Webber, people who should be in the Hall of Fame for 100.
And Shaq went up with two hands.
4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's something.
Huge mistake.
Kevin Harvick.
Choose Mobil 1 Synthetic instead. It protects engines better than conventional motor oil.
Yeah, you would say that. You're wearing the logo.
How about now?
Get 250,000 miles of protection. Upgrade to Mobil 1.
Why did Jimmy John's make a wine? To pair with a sandwich. The all-new Frenchie, all-natural salami and capicola, hand-sliced provolone, and salted butter on a baguette.
That is really good.
The Frenchie, available for a limited time at Jimmy John's.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if we should kiss. You're a zombie.
But I'm kind of hot.
Yeah.
I know how difficult it can be to find the right Father's Day gift, but you can't go wrong at Dick's Sporting Goods. We have gifts for every dad. If he's into boats, bikes, or camping, there's plenty to choose from, including Yeti. And if he likes golf, he'll love the latest drivers from Callaway and TaylorMade. Plus, we've got a great new selection of footwear to fit any runner and every athlete. So make it a day he'll remember with the perfect Father's Day gift from Dick's Sporting Goods. If you can't get to a store, shop us online.
What? She's ziplining with Little John?
It's Lil John.
Even he knows that.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Don't hate like their trip. Book yours with Hotels.com and get rewarded basically everywhere.
Hotels.com. Be there. Do that. Get rewarded.
You're a big deal to us, so we've got big deals for you. Get more at the Big Deal event back at Men's Warehouse this Memorial Day. Shop our lowest price of the season with 60% off all linen. All dress shirts are 3 for $99.99. Plus suits are starting at $199.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Hi, are you my best buddy? Best buddy?
I think Chucky did something.
Andy, if you know something, you better tell me.
Something's wrong with Chucky. Chucky is a toy. Chucky, did you do this? He's trying to kill us!
See how much fun we have?
Child's Play. Rated R. June 21st.
I'm going to start with some balayage clip-ins, then razor cut up to blunt angled lob. I'm retiring. You're my swan song.
What?
He's going to slap some clips in your hair, give you a bob, and then he's going to move to Boca Raton. But you're going to look amazing.
Okay. There are multiples on the table. One is cash, 3 are FHA, 1 is VA. So what can you do?
She's saying a whole lot of people want to buy this house. But you got this.
It can be as simple as push-button get mortgage.
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
This is Bai. On one hand, it's healthy, but on the other hand, it's delicious. Healthy, delicious. Healthy, delicious. Healthy, healthy-licious. I like that. Bai. Great flavor and good for you. A taste of both worlds. Hey.
Why did Jimmy John's make a wine? To complement a sandwich. The all-new Frenchie, a combination of all-natural salami and capicola, hand-sliced provolone, and salted butter on a baguette.
This rivalry, like an original piece of art, is one of a kind. Each season, each piece starts with a clean slate, masterfully created, cut by cut, fine-tuned along the way. Who will sit on the throne on Sunday Night Baseball? Red Sox, Yankees on ESPN.
Hanging out with Pablo. We're here in a few minutes to discuss if the Warriors are panicking.
Is Odell Beckham already creating drama in Cleveland?
Why are the Rockets playing games with Mike D'Antoni?
And a toe wrestling champion is crowned. Stay tuned.
A what?
The Jump is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order a freaky fresh sandwich at jimmyjohns.com. Because sandwich.
All right, our next WNBA game tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern over on ESPN2. Brittany Griner and the Mercury host Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces. All right, guys, Raptors took game 1 at home. Time to put your money where your mouth is. How many more games do you think the Raptors will win this series?
3.
Really?
I do.
You're going for the Raptors?
But I thought they would before because of home court, health, and rhythm. I thought they had all these advantages coming in to the series.
JVG, Toronto wins the series. What do you got?
If Katie doesn't come back before game 4 or 5, I'm going with 3 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It'll be interesting to see. I know people are certainly hoping tomorrow night they can win because I think that's going to be such a huge momentum thing for Toronto. The building, like it's a Sunday night, but this building is going to be so loud and so crazy. And if the Warriors can put that back in the box and then get to go back to Oakland like that, I think some of the stuff we were talking about at the top of the show about poise and them feeling like they can do anything, that starts to fade if you're going to a split in Oakland. And Golden State is there. So I think that Sunday is going to be a real pivotal game for Toronto. Thanks for joining us here. We will be back on Monday. In the meantime,